Okay, so when you used to come to this property, the drive used to go straight down the middle of the section here, and you can see it's obviously changed quite a bit. There's now a house in the front. I subdivided about 9 years ago, sold off the front half for 200,000, and then used that money to renovate the house. So we'll go down here. The gate, the drive is now on the side here, so there's a security gate there to go down the drive down the side of the property past that side of this house. You probably remember the grapefruit tree in the middle of the drive. So I don't own that front half anymore, that's someone else's. So if we turn around here, this is where the drive would go up to where there used to just be the bare dirt basement. And then over this side there's a retaining wall and there's trees which have been planted, and you'll see the house has changed quite a bit, been recladded, painted, and aluminium joinery replacing all of the old 1950s drafty wooden joinery, and the basement downstairs. And I'll take you in and show you the basement in a second. Before I put the basement in, I had no storage space, so I put in some shipping containers. That one up there was the first that went in, and then I put in another one down there, and they're just huge store sheds, but I'm going to get rid of them and put in a proper car shed somewhere here in the next few years. That is a generator that's big enough to run about 3 or 4 houses, and it's set up, it's automatic. When the power goes off it runs, and it doesn't run very often, but when it is running it's bloody nice to have. So it just kicks in automatically when the power goes off. This is a workshop. It's a bit untidy, but I'll give you a quick look. So there's a workbench and lights and tools and all sorts of stuff in here, and I need to get in and have a proper, really good clean up some point in the near future. There's a washing machine and dryer here. That's my second washing machine and dryer because I have people living here, renting rooms. That's my phone. I'll go and answer this call and I'll be right back. Okay, so phone call taken care of. So this is a deck, just to make it nice and presentable, in front of where the old dirt floor garage used to be under the house. And up there is where the front door used to be. We've put in a stairwell and stuff there, and all of that used to be the lounge, and it's now partly a stairwell and a very small lounge. So we'll go up this way around this corner where you will remember walking around the side of the house. Yeah, I can't remember whether there was much of a path or anything here. I don't think there was much actually. So around the back of the place we go to where there was the back door, and you'll remember there used to be a shitty old concrete ramp and everything, and you can see, get a really good look at that aluminium joinery. Yes, it is a security camera. And then there's a big deck out here. And amongst other things, a spa pool. The barbecue is shot and I'm going to be chucking it away shortly. It's just sitting there waiting to be thrown out. So this is my back deck. So I've got a spa pool, a bedroom out here, a 4th bedroom. That was originally a storeroom built for storing the furniture for the deck, but it very quickly got turned into a really nice bedroom, and there's someone living in there at the moment. Shower for the spa so you can wash yourself off afterwards. There's a few ladders and stuff lying around because I'm in the middle of doing some stuff on the roof. I'm putting in solar heating tanks. The tanks are in, but the actual heater tubes going along the side of the tanks here aren't in yet. I've still got some work to do, but that's going to save me a lot of money, I think. So then this is what the back of the house looks like. So we'll go inside. Everything's been renovated. This is what is now my kitchen. in the same place the old kitchen used to be. And then going through into the dining room and the lounge. The dining room is still pretty much the same, but the lounge has changed quite a bit. So there's computers throughout the house, all networked into the server room downstairs. This is my home theatre. So really nice $4,000 projector, and then you can see how I've made the room into a really nice home theatre setup. So there's another computer hiding down there in the trolley, which is connected to the projector, and it's connected to the servers, and runs the home theatre, which, there you go, is there. So all looks a lot nicer when the lights are off and it's actually running as a theatre. But anyway, that's my lounge. So then, oh, and I've got wood panelling on all the walls throughout this part of the house. It's actually flooring. It's cheap artificial wood flooring, but I've used it on the ceilings and the walls in this part of the house, and it actually looks quite nice. So then this here used to be part of the lounge as well, but it's obviously now been sacrificed as the stairwell to go downstairs, and we'll go down there in a second. I'll show you the rest of the house first. So there we go, carpets, and you know, it all looks very nice. Oh, actually I can remember showing you this. I remember you did actually see this once it was done up. You can remember you saying to me this was like a hotel toilet. So you have actually seen this, but I think you've only seen this bit. I hadn't actually done up the rest of the place properly. I'd done the toilet and the bathroom just here on the left, and there's my other washing machine and dryer. So I'm pretty sure you saw these before you left, or the last time you were here, which was probably 2003, 2004, and I'd done this room up and I was living in this room, and I can quickly show you there, but there's somebody in there now, a really nice guy I've got living here, renting one of the rooms. But I'm pretty sure that's where I was living when you were here last. My old room, that you'll also remember, is now completely changed. So this is the new look in here. So there's bed things. I'm not actually living in here. I've got this room set up, and a computer and air conditioning, and then out to the spa and the back deck. And I've got this all set up so that I can rent it out to make some money. I've got ads out for people, and just at the moment it's empty. Then there's another room here which is also set up. It's a bit smaller, and it's available also with an air conditioner for anybody who would like to rent it. So now we'll go downstairs. And chandelier, and you can see again there's wood panelling all over the place. Another air conditioner. And then here is the server room. The security door, the mesh door, is on there to stop one of my cats getting in. Just move this and show you, just turn this on. There is a proper door to the room, but the problem with having the door closed during winter is that there's no way for the heat to get out, which means I have to run the air conditioner, and that costs me about $85 a month. So I realised it was actually going to save me that $85 a month if I left this door open and put a door like this on, so that the heat can just come out through the mesh and just waft into the house. So there is quite a lot of heat. So it saves me heating costs, and it saves me air conditioning costs for this room. But one of my cats is very nosy, and if I didn't have that door on here to close to keep him out, he'd be going in and climbing over the server rack and unplugging things. There's a few things lying around on the floor at the moment. This is my 2 hot water cylinders, and quite a complicated bit of plumbing for them. That's for the solar heating stuff on the roof, so the two pipes there go in a loop up to the tanks on the roof, and they also go out to the spa pool as well, because the solar heaters on the roof are going to be providing hot water for the spa and for the hot water system for the house, which is what all this is. So that there with the flashing lights is the controller for the spa pool to let it know there's hot water on the roof that it can use. And then on the right here is the solar controller to run the circulation pumps to bring hot water down to here to be stored and then used in the house. This is the server rack as of today. So there's 3 UPSs at the bottom, and underneath it a power distribution unit with a whole bunch of breakers on it. Then the first machine is Angel 1, second machine is Office, third machine is Angel 2, and fourth machine is the security server, which runs the keypads on the gate and records the security cameras. So Angel 1 and Angel 2 have the removable caddies in them, which I told you about, so there's a good look at the caddies on Angel 2. And then there's a few removable caddies on the Office machine as well, which provide backup drives for all of my personal data. And then Angel 1 is just a duplicate of Angel 2. There's 37 terabytes of drives in here, and at the moment there's 29 drives in total. So then further up there's a commercial router and DSL a commercial DSL router and a switch, layer 3 switch, and then there's a 10 megabit 100 megabit switch up there which is unmanaged, and then the patch bays and blah 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 blah. There's also a NAS sitting up there beside the GoPro. I'm not using the NAS anymore, but you can see the amount of networking in the house by the cables going up into the roof. And the GoPro sits there being charged on a USB hub plugged into one of the machines, because that's just the simplest way to keep it charged up. And this camera lives up there as well, plugged into the hub, and just gets charged on I think it's Office that they're plugged into. Then there's the Essential Services switchboard for the server room, which goes out to a second tiny generator, not the big green one I showed you. There's actually a second smaller generator out there. I'll just grab a key and show you the innards of the switchboard. So that's the switchboard for the server room, and so the if the power goes off, the UPSs obviously keep the rack running, and the generator kicks in and keeps this room running. And at the same time the big one starts up and runs the rest of the house. That's the multi-switch for the satellite dish out on the deck, which feeds a satellite feed into every room in the house, so everyone can watch TV. That's the keypad and alarm panel for all the smoke detectors around the house. I've got 14 smoke detectors in every room in the house, so there's those little guys all over the place, and there's one out here, just there above the fuse board. They're all over the place. And that alarm panel is monitored 24/7. Beside it is an electric fence unit. I don't know if you noticed, but there's electric fence wires on the top of the fences going around the place. The main reason for that is to keep one of my cats from wandering next door to some dodgy rental property idiots who live next door. I don't want them going over there, so that was the simplest way to stop them. There's not really much to see in the servers, but they're all on proper rails, so you can pull them to pieces really easily. I'll quickly open this up and show you. Okay, so there's the innards of Angel 2. Still the original MSI board that went into Angel 2 and Angel 1 9 years ago. But they've got plenty of RAM, and they're only 230 200 gigahertz megahertz, gigahertz, 200 gigahertz CPUs, but they do the job, the file serving job that they're needed for just fine, just with that amount of speed. And because they have run 24/7 for their whole life, they're showing no signs of age, no problems at all, and I fully expect that they will still be going strong in another 10 years. So push that back in, there we go. So that is the server room. So then the basement is the only thing left. Let me just close that. I'm just blocking that off with the box of nails in the meantime. I need to put a proper lock on it. It hasn't been in for long. So this is the basement, which is where I'm living at the moment. So I've got more rooms upstairs. Hang on, I'll turn all the lights on. I've got 4 rooms upstairs I can rent for income. So it's a bit untidy, but this is what used to be the bare dirt garage. And so as you can see, it's quite nice. Those are all the heater elements for the solar tanks on the roof. A bit of clothes lying around. And the windows are all blacked out because I sleep rather irregular hours. Long story, but anyway, it's just nice having a blacked out room, so if I want to go to bed and sleep during the middle of the day right now, I can hop into bed and turn all the lights out. Hello cat. And the room is nice and dark, like the middle of the night. Anyway, there you go. That's I'll look around my house. And then finally, just a few things to finish off that I forgot to show you, just because they're, well, that's the sort of things you'd probably be interested in because they're a bit nerdy. Not that I'm saying you're a nerd, but they're the sort of things you'll be interested in. That is the switchboard for my house. It's a commercial switchboard. You know what the size of your average domestic switchboard is? Well, there's my switchboard. So there's 3 earth leakage breakers. There's all sorts of bits and pieces in there. A couple of things are off up there because they're not working. Below that is the contactors for the main generator. That little switchboard in there is for the baby generator, just to run the server room, but the big one that kicks in and runs the whole house, that's how it plugs itself in. The blue thing is a voltage monitor. If the voltage drops below 214 volts, it starts the generator. If the voltage goes above 245 volts, it starts the generator, and when the generator is running, the place is disconnected from the mains from the street. So if there's no voltage, or if there's too high voltage, then it just protects everything in the house by switching to the generator. There's a few other things I think you might be interested in. And this is the emergency lighting system as well. I wasn't going to show you this, but I will because I'm here. So there's the emergency lighting, and one of the excuse me, one of the bloody thing's not closing. Why aren't you closing, you prick? There we go. One of the UPSs on the rack here, come on, out you go. This is the nosy cat I was telling you about. Go on, little rogue. Go on, off you go. Come on. There, go on there. Go and make a nuisance out of yourself in there. Okay, so one of the UPSs on the bottom of the rack runs the emergency lighting, so the feed from it comes through there, through the walls and into this box in here. If the power goes off, there's lights all around the house which come on automatically, run by the UPS until the baby generator is up and running, and then it takes over from the UPS, and then once the big generator is up and running, it then runs the whole house and the emergency lights all switch off. Yeah, I have way too much free time on my hands, pretty much. So I can control that There I can turn them on manually just to show you. In fact, I'll turn them on. I've also got it hooked up to the alarm panel, so if the fire alarm goes off, the emergency lights come on. Which is also really nerdy, but the reason I did that is because I'd already installed the emergency lights anyway, and I thought, well, if the place is filling up with smoke in the middle of the night and the fire alarm goes off, it would actually be really handy to have lights on so I'm not stumbling around in the dark. And I haven't had any fires yet, but I have had the alarm go off in the middle of the night, and it was actually very, very helpful to have the lights on. So that, and I think it's 2. There we go. So that's now, I think, yeah, that's the emergency lights on. So I'll turn everything off, because there's also something to show you. You will have noticed all of the Ethernet cables on there, probably wondering where they all go. So I'll show you that as well. This is one of the emergency lights, so that's the switch for these lights, and now that the emergency lights are on, this light above me is overridden by that panel. I can still turn this one on and off, but the that one's now being controlled directly from the emergency panel. So if we come in here, a couple more lights are on the emergency lighting system, so I can't control them when that panel is active. But what I did want to come in and show you is this was originally built as a downstairs lounge and landing room, and over there on the wall beside the those power points are also LAN ports. So there's 6 there, and then where are we? Another 6 over there. So there's 12 LAN ports in this room, and they're 20 amp circuits. Those wall sockets are on 20 amp circuits, so you've got plenty of power to run 6 PCs here, sort of bench there, 3 chairs that side, 3 chairs that side, same over here. So you can comfortably get 12 people in here, and it's air conditioned as well. I can't do that at the moment because I'm using it as a bedroom, but that's what it was set up for originally. So we go back upstairs. That's also an emergency light. So these other lights are normally controlled altogether, but when the emergency panel's on, that one comes on and you can't do anything to turn it on or off. That's just running from the panel. So they're strategically placed so that no matter where you are in the house, there's light in the middle of the night. So there isn't much light in there, it's all coming just from one spot. Hello cat! But there is light. Same with this one. This is one of the single lights in here is on. So normally all these lights would be controlled by the dimmer and the light switch, but as you can see by me turning the dimmer up and down, that one in the corner, the emergency light, is being controlled from downstairs, so I can't turn it off up here. But it gives enough light in this area in the night when there's no power. Similarly, there's another emergency light in here in the lounge, and there's one in here in the kitchen, because if you're in the middle of cooking and you're holding a frying pan full of boiling fat or whatever, you don't want to suddenly be in the dark groping around trying to find somewhere to put it down without burning yourself. And also the hall lights are emergency lights as well, so this whole end of the house is lit up when the power goes off, or if the fire alarm goes off. The other thing I wanted to show you is where more of the Ethernet cables go, because there are a lot more than just 12 coming out of the rack, and they come out here onto the deck. So, oh pardon me, Jesus, oh Christ, okay, so here on the deck there are little trapdoors right by the cat. So there you go. And so there's a power point there. There's also hot and cold water, cold, hot, because I'm going to put a sink out here on a trolley that I can push inside. But what I wanted to show you is inside this box, if you haven't already guessed, there are Ethernet ports on my deck. So you can open that up, put it up on the deck through the little hole in this hatch thing, so it sits out on the deck, and you put an extension through from there, and then close the trapdoor, and you have your Ethernet sockets and power supply out on the deck for all the computers to plug into. So there's 6 there, and then over here there's another trapdoor. There you are. And there's another 5 and a power point under there. So you can have 11 computers out here on the deck and 12 computers in the basement. And I have hosted fairly full-on LANs with most spaces occupied, and so yeah, I think I'm pretty well set up for landing, to be honest. I didn't show you this before either. It's my little sink for washing the barbecue out. It's quite handy, hot and cold running water, and then there's power in there in that box as well. Anyway, there you go, that's me, that's my house. Hope you enjoyed having a look at it all.